Oh, what a remarkable change of the tide that was. Arne inners are in the mud, and I'll be consistent. You already know I've been heavily, blind faithfully, blacking. Great start to the video. Right, we cancelled 20 seconds into a post on YouTube. Backing the manager, Arne Slot, for the past, you know me, you know how long I've been backing him. And again, that was all with the credit of what he did last season and all the league that we won. But I am so sorry. How do you expect me to watch I'm a Celebrity later and just act like everything's okay? Everything is not okay. I am not okay. I have got mental health problems through the roof right now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in my 20s. I'm supposed to be happy. I'm supposed to be young, exuberant, and, you know, full of life and full of energy. But guess what? I feel like I want to just become a UFC fan permanently. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll never turn me back on my team. That's not even a thought. But that would be the best sane option for my mental health, is not watching this Liverpool team for the foreseeable future. And that's why I'll come on this camera right now and I'll say to everybody who had a strong opinion that I disagreed with, and even though it was tongue-in-cheek, a lot of the things I said, and a lot of people cried like bitches, and that's a fact, but I am sorry, because I think the litmus test has been ran, and I do think the Arne Slot in or out talk is embarrassing. I do. I've always cringed when opposition fans have done it. I've cringed even more seeing our own fans do it. But if Edwards and Hughes sat down tomorrow and sacked Arne Slot, I would not blame them one bit, and I certainly wouldn't be having a go at them and saying it's a huge mistake, or, you know, you're the enemy of the football club. I wonder who said that one. Twitter was hacked. We'll go with that. We'll go with the Twitter was hacked. And it definitely is the worst period that we've had of football since we had the comfort blanket of Jurgen as manager. And I wanted to come on camera today and say, though the players are not avoidable of blame, they absolutely have to be attributed to the results that have been put in recently. And it's not just Arne Slot, but unfortunately, there's always one common denominator, and it always falls back to the manager. And the manager has not been putting in the shift that he needs. He's not been making the changes that he needs to make to get this team on track. And listen, we can do the big I told you so's and whatever have you. I would have been more than willing to do the I told you so's if Arne Slot fixed this. I really would have. So anyone doing the same for me, I don't blame you one single bit. On sweet Nancy Francis's green earth, I would not blame you one bit for hating me forever for how much I've backed that man. And it did come with the fact of everything that happened in the summer, the amount of change, the fact if we were losing games, it was fine margins, but you can't lose 3-0 at home to Nottingham Forest. And hopefully you'll give me this and concede me this, and being the man that you have all asked me to be, and not just stand on my morals because it was an opinion that I had. I've already conceded. I'd have laughed at you if Arne Slot turned it round. I did after Real Madrid. This is not good enough, and it hasn't been good enough, and I've always admitted that, but I've always said I want the litmus test to be ran, and the litmus test has been ran, mate. It really has. I'm now got to watch this UFC card with the fact, and I love UFC, I love it with my whole heart, with the loss of 3-0 Nottingham Forest, a Sean Sykes Nottingham Forest, by the way, in the back of my mind. This is a disgrace, and I wanted to do a video because I was so quick to say, you know, Arne Slot out is in the mud after the Real Madrid game. I'm now coming to you and saying, fair fucks, you know what I mean? Like, I am wrong. I am like a huge disgrace to humanity. I am an enemy of this football club, so yeah, this is not good. I have loved everything that man's gave us, and like I said, going into the Arne Slot in or out talk is not what I want to do, but if the board members came to tomorrow and John W. Henry walked in and said this isn't good enough, I certainly wouldn't blame them one single bit. So I thought to do a video, I thought to talk about it. I didn't want it to be this like mad explosive rant where, you know, I'm going at individuals. We can all talk about how crap Canate was and and how uninspiring we was in the final third, and all these things. And there is definitely individual errors, but unfortunately, if players are making individual errors every single game, to the point where you're losing, whether by fine margins or 3-0 at home to a Sean Dyche Nottingham Forest, you've got to look at the manager. You just do. So that's my take on the video. If he does get time, I'll support him. I'll support the team. But is my faith very blind in that we can turn this round? Yes. Like, it would have to be pure copium, which it already has been, to be honest. Going forward, I can't no longer live off the credit in the bank of last season, which fair play to the ones who didn't use that when it comes to factoring in their decision, like Carl and Mike Daz and all these guys who have obviously already turned on the manager for their own reasons. So like I said, I'll back him till he's gone. But if I was to make a prediction, like, is he going to get sacked? Like, the prediction probably would be yes, because if you were going to turn it round, it would be turned around by now. Do you know what I'm saying? And I don't think, you know, the big influx of change that we had in the summer has helped him in any way, but he hasn't adapted to that to the best way he could, because this isn't just like we've gone from first to 4th. Do you know what I mean? This is like 1st to 11th. We're not even in the top 10 at the table. If you go on Google and you look at the Premier League table, we're not there. And that's not good enough, unfortunately. And in a cruel sport like football is, it's a results-based business, and we're not getting results. So unless we start getting results very, very soon, the small percentage of fans, or even, you know, probably still large percentage of fans who still back Arne Slot, you will see that week to week go lower and lower and lower, like it already have been. So that's my video. Like, dislike, depending on what you think of me. That being said, it was honest, and that's all I can try and be on these videos. So yeah, love every single one of you. On to the next loss. In fact, we'll be in the Championship next season. On to Middlesbrough.